Hello and welcome back once again to Boomer Live, ladies and gentlemen. And we're back on YouTube today as our Instagram is not working. So I request you all to subscribe to the channel if you're already watching this and like this video straight away so that we can reach out to as many people as possible and we can have an interactive discussion as we always love to have here. And before we get into today's discussion on India versus England, I request you all once again to go to our app right now. The link is in the description, or go to our website, boomer11.com, and play the fantasy contest. You can play PSL right now, as the India vs England game has already started. You can still play PSL. You can still play. If you haven't made the team for the EFL Cup final, that's okay. You can still make it for the Premier League, which is happening across the weekend, and obviously Champions League is also going to be back in a couple of weeks' time. So there's a lot happening across the world of sports, and that's where we are here to talk about India versus England Day 3. Now, last evening when we ended the live, we were skeptic. We were almost on the verge of sacking Rohit Sharma and Dravid, but we're back again. We're back again. We're back again with a new mood. Yesterday we started by talking about WPL, so again I'll talk about WPL once again. Mumbai Indians continue their winning run. Yeah, they look like they're up for the title defense once again. Yesterday I spoke about WPL primarily because it was not a good day for Indian team. So today WPL takes a second seat because it was a good day for Indian team. That's what we do. We don't take things as things come by. Today I really don't care about Mumbai Indians, so that's why I'm
I
here to
think, but I
WPL.
genuinely felt like since RCB did well, that's the reason why you chose to speak
Yeah,
about them.
that is one of the reasons. At least I should be happy in one way because I was upset in the evening. So I thought I'll get joy by watching that game in the evening and get some happiness. And RCB, as usual, did kept me on my nerve. I mean, I should stop watching those games of RCB, to be very honest. Even men's team, women's team doesn't matter. They just keep you and they just keep you in your toes. They get you blood pressure. I've decided I should stop watching RCB games. Officially. Maybe. What do you think? And Teju had asked me not to wear the jersey, so I didn't wear the jersey as well, so they won. Okay, I was thinking to wear the jersey. That's when the collapse happened. So I was like, you know what? Let's just stop it. Let's just watch it how it is.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
either ways, I wore two jerseys. This same jersey I've not changed since last evening because two collapse happened yesterday. RCB getting the UP Warriors out for collapse and India taking England out for a collapse. So I think this is a collapse jersey. This is with this jersey Argentina won the World Cup. I am not superstitious, guys.
yeah,
I'm just telling you
yeah,
the facts, right? I'm just telling you what
yeah, yeah.
happened.
I mean,
It's
I
just
was there.
happened.
I was
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
witnessed it,
Truly.
guys.
Truly,
Yeah,
truly.
yeah.
Teju says basketball 2020 to 2024. Let's be honest. We still have to chase 152 runs. Let's just not write them off, guys. Let's not jump the gun, but it's still a long way to go. But Jaron, what a day for Test cricket, right? I mean, incredible day for Test cricket. If you are genuinely in for resilience, grit, some fantastic display. Let's start out by talking about Kuldeep and Dhruv Jurel, especially Kuldeep Yadav. We'll get to Dhruv Jurel. We'll have a special segment on him. But 128 balls, 26 runs is better than that 4 wicket which he picked up today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I see the title that you had put where you mentioned Ashwin and Dhruv, and I was like, I think Kuldeep deserves a lot more of a mention because, I mean, you know how you go back, you go on a trip. Thank you, Kapil. Yeah, I mean, I've had a very horrible week actually. My phone, my laptop, I think everything started collapsing. I think you spoke about collapses, a few collapses on my end as well. But I hope no more
That's
troubles up
not the
ahead.
case, guys. He was out with some person of his own choice. So just letting you all know.
Sure, sure.
Collapse.
Yeah,
We don't know
yesterday
what
in
happened
see,
there,
dude, you don't
but
know what happens in Bangalore. All right, stop testifying. But yeah, just coming back. Stop. I mean, just coming back to the whole thing. It's been more like a long ride for where two friends keep switching the driver's seat. One day it's England, and then the other day India is like, "Ab main chalata hoon, bade bhai ko chalane de," and those kind of and that kind of sentiment. Because till yesterday, even I mean, I remember watching the match, and I was like, my sentiment table was since CSK doesn't play in WIPL, since there's no Chennai Super Queens, I was like, I'll quit cricket for a while because after the show I saw, that too, remember guys, I mean, I had to borrow someone else's phone just to check Crickbus. I'm glad I did not see the matches. But today's day I saw because I got my phone and laptop back, and I'll tell you what, I think that is the reason why. My laptop and phone is not working. India struggled. Laptop is back. Phone is back. India's doing well.
yeah, for once and for all. We'll take some questions. Yeah, Kapil and Teju has joined us once again, as always. Now with Jurel's performance, case is gone. As soon as Kale comes back, Gill should be thrown out. Unfair on Gill, I'd say. I would have said that if you would have not scored that
Yeah.
100 and that 50. But maybe just a little unfair on Gill at this point to be thrown out is just like that. Maybe I wonder KL will replace Patidar for meanwhile. Then when Kohli comes back, we'll see what happens then. There's a lot to happen between that. Just want us to win and make those Brits cry, especially Michael Vaughan. It will be fun to watch, and they have started DRS controversy, and we'll get to the DRS controversy as well. But still, Chase isn't over. We'll still play that to the last one. India has to be cautious. Yes, India has to be
Yeah.
cautious. But let's get to that important partnership in the morning. I think to recap the day, Dhruv Jurel's 90 should be one of the best 90s scored by an Indian wicketkeeper batter. From that position, we were in trailing by 176 when he walked in, 176 when we lost that seventh wicket, and trailing by 176 rather. And then from there, Kuldeep and Dhruv Jurel taking the ship home. The 76 runs partnership was incredible. And to add to which, Dhruv Jurel making a small partnership with Akash Deep again, he tried
Yeah.
his level best. I think he deserved that 100 just for the sake of that trying. I mean, obviously, hundreds don't matter at the end of the day. He has given his all. But that was some talk knock by a wicketkeeper batter and by a batter in general. The maturity which he showed was incredible. When all the batters collapsed, he made sure how to bat there. He showed a way. You saw that in the last test match when he made his debut as well, that he can hang around. He can, just put a dead bat and just keep playing, and he doesn't get feathered by it. He's got the temperament to do it so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think somewhere, someplace in Delhi, Gautam is going to be very proud that a 90 is helping India again. And you'd have to say, that it was that kind of an innings where we really missed this for so long, isn't it? Where uh, yeah, I mean the CSK. I mean, you have to say. I'll get to the CSK part later, but yeah. Uh, just gonna say that the kind of innings that you saw from, I think, from the lower order especially. I mean, if you just look at just putting Dhruv Jurel aside, obviously he deserves all the accolades. Kuldeep Yadav and Akash Deep together played, I think, 160 deliveries, which was so important because that helped Dhruv Jurel continue playing. And I think but we always talk about batters, who play well with tail, and I think India's had some great batters over the years. I think we've had Vives Lakshman, who was an expert at it for so long. Rishabh Pant did that really well in the recent past. I think Dhruv Jurel, if he can keep this up, will definitely be there as well. And now, obviously, once Rishabh Pant is back, which everyone is stated to come back in the IPL as well, and by the second half, he'll start keeping again. And when that happens, obviously, Dhruv Jurel will
I
miss
think
out.
Rishabh
But
Pant keeping in Test cricket is a long way away even now. But either
yeah,
ways,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Dhruv Jurel has at least cemented his place for this home season of India, Test season of India, as a wicketkeeper batter for sure. At the meanwhile, and I still think even if Rishabh Pant comes back, he might just play as a batter in Team India. I think he deserves to play as a batter in Team India because he's that good. Unfortunately, CSK owner. Okay, we took this already. I will. Why umpires are becoming 12th man for England and low quality umpiring isn't a concern for ICC. I mean, last game they complained about umpires call. This time, all the umpires call went for them. I think they should stop it. And Ben Stokes will be the happiest right now. Even today, that ball which Jadeja ball hit and he got an umpire's call. So every ball which hits the wicket, according to Ben Stokes, is out. He should have walked off if he is standing by his word. So he has spoken before before the bullet was even fired. KS Bharat farewell brother. I mean, can't blame him. He was just a mediocre player. We just made him good. I mean, he's a good keeper at the end of the day. He's not a great batter, anyways.
I love
Um,
how the stance on players change when they leave RCB.
KS
It's
Bharat, I
just
never even rated him in
amazing.
RCB, to be very honest. He played some good knocks in T20
Come
cricket,
on,
good, but
you
in Test
said he's
matches,
going to be an
I don't think
attacking
he's got
player.
the temperament to play it. I've always mentioned it. I've always kept that, even in start of the series, I told Dhruv Jurel should be given from the third Test match,
Yeah,
if you guys
I
remember.
agree. I agree. I mean, this series,
Why
yeah.
did I even say that? Because I've always maintained Ishan Kishan, KS Bharat, all these guys are very mid. I mean, KS Bharat, I still
No,
think
I'll
he's
agree.
got a
I'll
lot to
agree. I'll
offer
agree.
for
I
whichever
think,
team is playing the season. Delhi Capitals, if he's a keeper batter,
yeah.
he's a better keeper batter than, I always felt he was a better keeper batter than Saha for some instance. I thought he was
Yeah.
wasted for a good amount. But either ways, he wasted his opportunities just like Rajat Patidar is doing right now. He's an RCB
Yeah.
player. I'm just being very honest. He's wasting his
Yeah.
opportunity. And tomorrow, if he doesn't score runs, he's not going to do any good for India as well. If he gets an opportunity, that is.
Yeah.
But
I
we
mean,
will talk about the Dhruv
sorry.
Jurel's that particular phase where he took on the ball as well. You reckon That 46 runs trail just took the momentum away from England while England went on to bat. Because, in my opinion, that first session today was so much more easier to bat because of the moisture. Because I saw once the sun came out, the pitch started doing a lot of things. At 15 degrees Celsius with a lot of moisture, the pitch was binded together. And that
Yeah,
really helped India to score those runs in the first innings as well. You
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that it played out well for the first two innings, first two sessions rather. Then the ball started doing all things in the last session, as you saw in the second last session. From the lunch onwards, the ball started turning once the sun was out. But you reckon that was a big factor for India to play till lunch today, because that really helped to take the momentum away from England, and it's something which happened with India in the Hyderabad Test match. What we have delivered to England now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it worked in that way. I'll agree with you. I mean, for once, the weather and the conditions really helped India out. And, you did mention about the lead being so less. I think it also plays on in a psychological way because, when you and me, we have done assignments, I think everyone watching this has done assignments once in their life. And you know that the first 10, the last 5 pages that you do are a lot tougher because then you're just hoping this gets over. And it's pretty much what England would have assumed in the morning today that okay, we've got a few more wickets to left to take. We'll take them and we'll start to bat. The bowlers would have wanted to put their feet up, and then comes Kuldeep Yadav, a bowler himself, and ruins their plans. Dhruv Jurel comes in, ruins their plan. All of a sudden, you're sitting there hoping that every next ball is a wicket, and you don't really sit in plan like you plan for a batter because when you know two set batters are batting, you almost psychologically set in. You're like, we are in here for the for a longer innings, but the moment a baller comes in, you start feeling like you start, hoping and hoping how an AC room would feel or how it would feel to just put your legs up and sit and relax while your batters do the grind. I think that's where England kind of lost it, or they don't expect this resistance from the Indian tail because Indian tail famously doesn't resist much or doesn't wag much. But today, I think that one session, like you mentioned, that morning session, might as well have changed the test match on its head. Even though 150, I mean, odd runs is still not going to be easy to chase. But having said that, I think England were probably hoping to settle this game by today at this point in time. They would have at max hoped that India would have an unsurmountable lead to a mountain to climb, and they would make it 2-2. But now all of a sudden things have just turned out, and I think that's where this England team has also failed. I think even the last Test match, second innings again they could not really put up a performance. Again, they collapsed very meekly, where we expected, James Anderson's words to be played by, where 60 overs they were going to chase the score. They ended up not even surviving 60 overs. So, similarly, but I think last time around, you would at least expect that, okay, fine, the ball was in India's court. But here it just seems like Ben Stokes and his lads have just gifted the ball away, where now they really have to fight it out, and they are the ones who are under pressure, and they are the ones who have to attack.
Hmm. Tomorrow up till tea, result will come is what Kapil believes in. Yeah, hopefully. And Teju says Dhruv could have rotated his strike a lot more. I agree. Primarily because Akashdeep has had close to what 33 sixers in first class cricket. In 38 games he's played. So genuinely power hitter. He's got a strong hitting arc. And you saw that he hit a six even today. But let's be honest, whatever we got, we should be happy with that. At 176 trail, if you'd have asked for a 46 run straight, yeah, I would have taken it any day, and that's exactly what has led to this. Maybe where we went wrong, I still is in the first innings. If we go on to lose this test match, exhausting our reviews way too early, because when Robinson
Yeah,
came to bat, he was out for 8, if I remember, and that review we couldn't take because we did not have reviews at that stage. So these are small errors, and for India, I think tomorrow is a massive day. Let's be honest, it's a series deciding day for both
yeah.
the teams. If India wins it, bye bye. We packed up to Dharamshala in a very happy way. I think
Yeah.
Bumrah will not feature in the Dharamshala Test match then. Then we'll see possibly Siraj also being rested. We might just see an attack of Mukesh and Akashdeep leading us most likely, or we could be seeing even a fast bowler called from outside. We'll have to see who even gets called,
Yeah.
because we do not know at this point who might just get called from anywhere. I think one of them will definitely get called. I have a strong feeling it could be. I don't know why. I just have a feeling Yash Thakur or someone might just get called. Just have a sneaky feeling. Um, but either ways, um, Jurel, yeah, will become jewel of Indian cricket, is what he says. Yeah, possibly. But let's just say that whatever we've seen of him, he's done a good job. If he continues like this, obviously he
Yeah.
can become a big player. Priyanka says, I have a question. Is this your real hair or are you using curling products? Abel, you had a straight hair, I remember. See, to
Yeah.
be honest, this is my real hair. That was, but
Do you
it's a
wanna
mood,
plug
guys.
do you wanna
It's
plug in your products, Abel?
I don't want to plug in any products. I'm not getting sponsored, and we don't promote products on Boomer Level until unless the money you share it, put it on our table. As simple as that. Throw the money in the table. We take the names of the products. You can mail us on www. You can mail us at boomer11 at support@gmail.com,
Yeah.
or either ways, you can do that, or else reach out to us on DMs on Instagram, or comment here if you want to sponsor us. No taking any products except whatever you are, whatever comes. Unfortunately, like maybe Jaren drinks a Pepsi in between or something. It's not sponsored.
Yeah. I
Debutants
mean,
for individual perform
I
well in
think
the
I'll
field.
try and yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go
I
ahead.
mean, all I'm
I'm
saying
just
is next time maybe I'll remove the label or cut out lace by my marker before I start eating. Be a little
ideally
bit
that's
more
what you
careful
should
with
be doing.
items.
That's what
Yeah,
you should be doing. I mean, we're promoting stuff for no reason. I mean, you can eat that and say this is the homemade chips at the end of the day. I mean, why should we even promote anything? That's
yeah,
exactly what I think.
absolutely,
Even I drink
absolutely.
Pepsi in a glass, if you know. That's what I do before the light.
Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that backhanded observation you made there. But yeah, let's move ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's talk about the start we've gotten. Who pays 149 rupees for PSL subscription fan code Poverty League? I mean,
Okay. I
if you
mean,
have paid, then
no
I
shots
question
can
you,
be taken
Teju, but
in
I hope you
PSL.
haven't.
But I
Huh?
mean, I don't follow PSL as as I mean as much as Abel does. But I did see this one clip of
I don't know which game is even happening. I have no idea what's happening. Sorry.
so all
I'm
right,
being
fair
very
enough.
honest. I like talking about cricket, but I don't follow PSL to be very honest because
Yeah.
I don't have the access to watch it. See, as Teju rightly mentioned, 149 rupees fan code. There is no official broadcast. See, guys, I'm not that rich to be spending on everything. PSL that to PSL. All what I know from PSL is from what Sandeep Bane told me that Babar Azam scored some 50 and his team lost.
I think that's pretty much PSL. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I saw a very interesting clip. So I don't know who the batter was or who the bowler is or the teams, but I saw this clip where a batter gets hit outside off stump on his
Oh
pad.
yeah, yeah, I'll tell you. That's a very
Or
viral clip. It's really
in
rightly
the line
mentioned
rather,
for
in the line
Quetta
rather.
Gladiators. That was a
Yeah,
DRS mistake. That's a genuine DRS mistake. The ball gets
that is a
thrown
genuine
in a
DRS
different trajectory.
mistake. Can our I mean, can people look into that side? I mean, I think as far as I know about DRS, I mean, let's talk about it. I think since you've triggered it, as far as I know about DRS, there is a technician who has to, specifically enter the point where the ball hits the pad or something of that sort, and from there on, the calculation is done by the algorithm. I think somewhere there is a human element somewhere there, and that's what these people keep arguing that there is manipulation in those areas. But I think that's a very wild accusation to make without any proof whatsoever. And we've seen throughout the series that it's not just happened to England, it's happened to India as well, where umpire's call has gone wrong. And just to make, just to repeat ourselves again and again, guys, there is an error margin that happens when this calculation is made. And to make up for that error margin, considering that umpires have a better sight on what's happening, and it's much more difficult to bring into a, I wouldn't even say 3D, but rather a real life situation and jot it down into a Cartesian plane, or rather, basically, to create a computer simulation of it is not easy, or it's not easy in this technology. And that's the reason why there's an error margin. That's why there's umpire's call. Simple as that.
Hmm. Okay.
And everything that hits a stump doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hit the stump in reality. It's just a computer's perception of how it's going to be. So Ben
Yeah, I
Stokes,
agree.
read up on your technologies, what we'll say.
I agree. I agree. You're right. That's why even umpire's call is there, even for the impact. For example, there is an
Yeah.
error of there is a error which can be made even for the impact. Impact also might not be accurately displayed, as you saw with the Riley Russo dismissal, and that's why there's an impact. So I always wondered, why is there a need for a umpire's call for impact, for instance, because you know where it's hitting, everyone's seeing it. As Jaren rightly mentioned, there is even a possible margin for error even for impact. So that's why there's an impact umpire's call. So we have a question from Shinbari, who asks us who is better, Saim Ayub or Yashasvi Jay. So that's a good comparison for the future for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, both left-hand batters who's coming up, but I think Yashasvi is miles ahead at this point. He's taken that. He's
I
already on
mean,
the.
I mean, as you mentioned again, Yashasvi is probably doing a way better job. But then you also have to say that Ayub has just been brought in at international level.
Yeah.
From what we've seen, he's looked really good. He's yet to really get those opportunities, and that sample space you have for Yashasvi and for Ayub is a lot different. So I think maybe 1 year in this 1 year's time, I think a fair comparison can be drawn, and people will start drawing a comparison now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, let's be honest. If Saim Ayub just lights it up, or in the T20 World Cup, for example, I think he'd be a world superstar. For at this moment, at least, Yashasvi scoring 600 odd runs in a Test series is far greater. I mean, two double hundreds back to back. And tomorrow, he's got another opportunity to score big. I mean, he's way ahead, and Yashasvi has already taken that lead in this particular race as of now. But I think there's still a long career to be played out for both of them. The broadcast was stopped for 10 minutes in the whole country because of some protest related politics. Why does this happen? I mean, we don't even have to bring this league today. I mean, we have so many other things to talk about. We are not even here for PSL. Let's talk about the chase tomorrow. How do you see India approach it? India, I don't think we can defend and play and chase those 192 runs. We have to hit. We have to play positively, like just we did. Because when we play positively, even their spinners are in a lot of pressure. And Ben Stokes has set a very defensive field as well, which he's making a mistake, I believe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this whole Test match, England have not played the baseball way because even in the first Test, even the first innings from England, they were going at three runs per over, if I'm not wrong, 3.5 runs
Yeah,
per
yeah,
over, which was pretty much what I mean anti-baseball. And then I think even I mean while they were bowling, I think that first innings they did show a lot better field place. I think bowling changes, not field placements, but bring in Shoaib Bashir, giving him those 20 overs back to back, showing him that confidence. In that sense, you have to say he did well. But again, I think that's where this English team, I think they get a little intimidated, or maybe when they lose that momentum, I think they get a little harsh on themselves and then they go way too defensive. And then again, it takes them a while, maybe a resetting, maybe Baz McCullum going hard at them, reminding them that they're playing baseball for them to come back and show a bit more aggression. So tomorrow, I believe you might see a little bit more changes, a little bit more aggressive field placements. I hope, at least for the sake of England, and I still think they've got this Test match if they ball well tomorrow, because we've seen this
Hmm.
pitch be a very tough place to bat on. But I think the long, especially for a new batter, because we saw wickets fall in clumps, even for India, we saw wickets fall in clumps. So if England can maybe break the partnership early, and India has been susceptible in the early parts of any session where they have to come in and restart. If they can get a Rohit Sharma or a Yashasvi Jaiswal, put India under pressure, they might get a couple of wickets just for getting that first wicket.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And it's not easy for a new batter to come in and settle down as well. But I believe the first session is where India will have to capitalize. As I mentioned, India will go on with a light. And India's already taken a light roller, and which means the pitch will be rolled out. It'll play at its best tomorrow in the morning. And as I mentioned, there is a lot of the weather in Ranchi is cold, so there's a lot of moisture in the air, and that's going to bind the pitch a lot more. So until unless the sun is going to come out, you're going to have a good time batting it out. And I believe tomorrow, from what I know, it's going to be a cloudy morning to start off with, and temperature close to 16 to 15 degrees. So that is very good. I was just looking at PSL scorecard, and I was just looking at some of the ballers, just to, as we had the
That's
discussion.
fine.
Carlos Brathwaite, he still plays cricket. I'm still surprised.
Isn't he a
Uh,
commentator for ICC?
yeah, he is. He is. He still plays cricket. Kyron Pollard still plays. I'm just who's
Aaron
Paul
Pollard has been
Walker?
having a world tour at this point in time.
Who's Paul Walker? Sorry, Paul Walter. I don't even know who he is.
I bet he balls fast and furious.
Yeah, he does, and his run rate is also very economy rate is also very fast and furious. Saim Ayub also opens the bowling for them. Very interesting. That's a very
Oh,
interesting.
so just found out Paul Walter. Paul Walter is a medium fast bowler. So I think he's medium fast and a little bit furious.
From whatever I know, just Jahannabad Khan is a very decent bowler. I think that's Jahannabad Khan I'm talking about. And this Zaman
I
Khan,
know. I mean,
he's express.
the pictures that you're showing doesn't really give me a good first impression.
Shy
But
Hope, I don't know, man. I was very surprised when he got picked in the IPL as well.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
Rassi
obviously.
Patterson batting at 200 strike rate. No, that's something very exciting.
Yeah, so very interesting league for all right reasons. Um, can't make much of it. That's all what I'd say, because it's just that I don't really know what's happening in this league. It's just a lot of confusion. because I don't see any quality. I just see very low quality cricket out there. I'm sorry, but SH20 was much better. Need some need the same intent like today from Rohit and Jessel, who want them to be getting into a shell. I don't think they will, and I don't see them both getting into a shell because at least from what I know, Rohit Sharma is not a person who really likes to get into a shell. I mean, today when you saw him bat, they could have gotten into a shell, understanding that today's 25 minutes is all they had to bat, but they did not. So from whatever I know, they will want to continue dominating, maybe get to 100 quickly. Then the pressure is immensely on England. They'll have to pick up 10 wickets for 10 or 9 wickets for 70 odd runs. That's going to be immense. I mean, they'll have to attack and defend, so which is not going to be easy. A Roth dislocated shoulder. Yeah, I heard about it. He's ruled out of PSL. That's a bad news for T20 World. I don't know if he's going to be back before T20 World Cup
I
as
mean,
well.
he's been getting thrashed as well, if I'm not wrong. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to really put any blame or allegations at this point in time, but for some reason, I always see Pakistani fast bowlers get injured when they are not doing well. Like it's like form
Yeah,
equal to injury.
but I also think they play with a lot of injury. That's the reason why.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise that
People-
that makes sense. I mean, it just feels
yeah,
like either they're all overused, that they really
yeah, because these
are
guys are
too
not bad
tired.
bowlers in my opinion. They're good bowlers, but they just overused a lot, and
Yeah,
they're just
I think
burnt out at the end of the day.
it's very similar to what India used to do in, I think, prior to 2015.
Yeah.
Whenever we had a decent bowler, or not, I
But I
wouldn't say
still
decent
won't
bowler.
accept the reason to rest Bumrah for this test match. I'd still wanted Bumrah in this test match, and Dharamshala you could have rested him because this was where you could have sealed it on for him. But if we win this, good. Bumrah gets more rest to be back
I
for
think
the biggest league in the world.
we are also lucky in the sense that Akash the ball really well, and we do
Yeah, he
not.
did, but we miss
Yeah,
Bumrah, right? At the end of the day,
yeah,
that partnership by Robinson, that Folks partnership, that's
yeah.
where Bumrah used to strike. That 200 runs could have been cut short. They could have been all out for what 150, and we would have been talking about a good 150 run lead, and would have won the game by tonight if that was the case. I bet if Bumrah was there, we wouldn't have seen those 200 runs partnership because even in an
Yeah.
unresponsive pitch like that, Bumrah would have had a lot to play with. But
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he was a
so
miracle worker at all times for us. I think
yeah, so I
he's
didn't like
he's
that.
he an unsung hero as well. I mean, we've sung a lot about him, but I think if you look at the series overall, maybe in the history, if 3 4 years down the line, we'll remember the knocks by Jaiswal. We might remember those knocks by. I mean, obviously the one that Dhruv Jurel played if India goes on to win.
Yeah.
But I think Bumrah had critical areas struck for us, and not just the ones where he picked 5 wicket hauls, but throughout, you would have to say he's played a huge part for us.
I see Mukesh and Deep playing the next match. I think so too. But if Dharamshala does quite a lot for fast bowlers, I don't think Mukesh is a bad idea. But
Yeah.
it all
I mean,
depends on Dharamshala.
that's where India would like to seal the series off as well,
See, if
because
India lose tomorrow, I'm telling you, India is not the favorites to win the series in Dharamshala.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because you
Uh,
would rather be, you would be wary of likes of James Anderson, getting a very good run in that on the Dharamsala pitch, especially if England get to, if England is bowling first, which obviously I think both the teams wouldn't want to do, but if they do, England might not feel as bad because Jimmy Anderson might do well in Dharamsala.
yeah, so be very careful of what we're going to get in Dharamshala. And I don't think we have to
Yeah,
jump the gun also. Tomorrow, we have to score those 152 runs and at least 100 runs in that first session so that we wipe that off. It's the best session to bat. Take them on, score 100 runs in that first session. Let's not get into shell. Then 30, 40, 50 runs, how much ever you want in the last session, you can in the second session. So I think
yeah,
by the second session, we'll see a result. It'll be either of it. So India will have to be prepared for it. India will know the best session to bat is also the first session. Let's go out there, smash them, put the spinners under so much of pressure, and be wary of the fast bowlers as well. That doesn't mean you don't respect the fast ball because Anderson can trouble you in those
absolutely.
conditions early on. So
Yeah.
India will have to be careful of that. Ollie Robinson bowling 125 kilometers in the pitch. I think he's bowled well, though he's bowled a lot of no balls. He's hit those lengths
So I
well.
remember there
Some,
was, yeah, I mean, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, good. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying is, I remember there was a conversation amongst the English cricket circles that, especially I think that to make Ollie Robinson a very, what do you say, English-based bowler, like what they try to do in the past as well, where you have different set of bowlers for England and different set of bowlers for overseas conditions, because Ollie Robinson has clocked consistently below 135 for a long time now. Even when he initially came up, he has those what do you say, balls where he put those high effort balls that he puts where he sometimes creeps up to 138, 139. But on a general, he stays at that rate, and he usually works the batter over a long period of time, which is not really a baseball way of playing cricket for them. Because remember, if you guys remember, a long time back when Owen Morgan, even before baseball came into existence, Owen Morgan really didn't want Anderson and Broad because weren't really quick ballers who would take in wickets very quickly. They wanted ballers who would pick wickets more, and even if they go for runs, that was fine by them. And I think that's
Yeah.
where that's the kind of school that Ollie Robertson falls into. So
Hmm.
yeah, like he sometimes does end up bowling dibbly dobblies. So as Teju says, so that's where they didn't want him to play. But I think now that they don't have many fast bowlers left, I think they ideally would have wanted Jofra Archer on this tour. But I don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
see
Agreed.
him ever to play red ball cricket anymore. The kind of injuries he's had, the back injury is gonna hurt. He is kept hurting him. It's not been like Bumrah, how he's made a comeback. I think Jofra might just remain a white ball bowler rather if he sticks for long.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree because we have no update on Joffre as well as to um, what when he's gonna
I
come
mean,
back. What is his
yeah.
status? Nothing. It's been like couple of years now, 2 years
I
to
won't be
be very
surprised if he
precise.
decides to just start playing franchise cricket, and let England go because he doesn't have the loyalty like some of the other English players do. If you guys remember, he's from the Caribbean at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and he played for England because for better opportunities. He might decide that he doesn't have a long career and he'll get a lot of money if he plays in these franchise leagues. So he plays for 5 to 6 years and then he looks for a career elsewhere, maybe in other side of cricket. But I have a feeling
Mm.
that's probably what's going to be. Teju, what we know so far is that the same injuries have kept him out of the game for this long now.
Mm. Yeah. That's why he has been told not to participate in the IPL as well this
Yeah.
year. So let's see if he is
So
gonna
I
be
have a
back home in
feeling,
India.
yeah, but I have a feeling that Mumbai Indians might pressure him because as of
He was
now,
no
and
more part of Mumbai Indians,
after
right? So
no, no.
what's
So I know what you're talking about. In IPL, he's not part of Mumbai Indians as of now, but he is, if I'm not wrong, still a player. They have a not a contract, but an understanding with. So I have a feeling Mumbai Indians might just pressure him, or some of the other franchise might just pressure him to come and play for us. We'll get you a better deal than maybe England because I think there's going to
well,
be a
it
tussle
all
between Indian
depends.
Cricket Board and
I
the
still think
franchise.
England is holding on to him because they know there is a lot of fast bowling they need for the future, and they want
Yeah,
transition from Anderson as well. So they
yeah.
want Archer for sure. So they're still holding on to him. They're not let go of him. Uh, they're not overball him. I think it's just that he was overballed a lot post that as well. You just played
I
in a
think it
lot
was
of test
overall in
cricket.
the overseas
Yeah,
series.
overseas test matches, if I
Yeah,
remember. He came to India and also bowled a lot in 2021. So
yeah.
these are things which I know those were not really his kind of pitches as well. Very when he balled in India,
So
so that's where
I think there
he
was
should
something
have.
interesting that I had heard about Jofra Archer. There's a fast bowling coach that I had heard about, and what he said is fast bowlers are generally the fast bowlers who go longest are usually the ones who start fast bowling practicing when they are younger, like when they are just pre-puberty, right? Because that's when like your body and your body structure kind of gets accustomed. And if I'm not wrong, what he said about Jofra is Jofra's picked up fast bowling when he was 17, 18, towards the later half of your puberty growth basically. Now, and what he said is that kind of makes it longer for your body to get used to bowling fast. So it's that much more difficult for someone who's picking up fast bowling later down their life
Yeah,
than for someone who's picking up bowling earlier.
makes sense. Makes sense. That's a good point actually. Not a lot of people have spoken about it. I think there are a few good classic examples like Natarajan as well. If I'm not wrong, he picked up
Yeah.
very late, but that's where these things can be looked into a lot more. And that's about it from us. Hopefully, we get an Indian victory and we're back tomorrow in the evening, celebrating
That'd be
Indian victory
awesome.
and series victory. Hopefully that is. And let's see because let's just not jump the gun as I mentioned. Either tomorrow I'll decide Rohit and Dravid should get fired, or but before that, the credits to Rohit Sharma for brilliant captaincy today. I'll give credit where it's due. It was outstanding from Rohit Sharma as a captain. He rotated the ballers beautifully. He gave Ashwin the opening over, which he should have done earlier on in the series, but he did it at the right time. And he bought in Kuldeep as well in the right junctures and did not use Akashdeep because it was not needed. So good captaincy from Rohit Sharma. Outstanding way he rotated the ballers and he was animated as well a lot more today. So good. Absolutely. Where you get credit, you get he was 10 on 10. But tomorrow we'll see if it's a 10 on 10 or not.
Do you want to say something about Dravid as well? Just to make
Uh, nothing really to say from him. He's been just okay.
All
That's a
right,
good
I think
idea.
that's pretty much
That's
it.
nice.
Yeah.